So, welcome back, everyone, to lesson 3 of spiritual fitness. I'm so glad that you've returned and that you've chosen to spend this hour with me and all together as we work together to develop our spirit. This is the lesson on forgiveness. And as I've said before, this is going to be a more contemplative and mentally and spiritually challenging exercise simply by the content of what we'll be working with. So, I'd like to emphasize the confidentiality of the group, and also the most important part, which is everything here is challenged by choice. So do so according to your own ability and comfort with the activities. And at the same time, within those limits, I'm going to ask you to find those limits and then just go a little bit outside of them so we can all grow together. So, everyone, today, all you need is just pen and paper. As we've done in the past, we won't be using any spiritual texts or other content. So if you have your pen and paper ready, we're going to go right into what we've done in the past is another Tabata, as we always start with that. So you can get that ready. And in order to warm up, we're going to continue also with the same warm up as before. 60 seconds of reading or listening to whatever you so choose to read or listen to, and 60 seconds of meditation or prayer, and then 60 seconds of read, listen, or pray. I realize I told you that you don't need anything, and then I said, hey, get something to read. So this can be a devotion or something off your phone, however you so choose to interpret that. I've got my timer ready, and we will begin shortly. So 60 seconds of reading or listening to music or anything like that, followed by rest. Here we go. Starting the warm up in 3, 2, 1, begin. 60 seconds. And stop. Good. That's your first minute in. Now take 30 seconds of rest. Just take the time to shrug out your shoulders, take a deep breath, and continue to go deeper into focusing in on what is to come during this spiritual fitness lesson. You've got 15 seconds left. Okay, 60 seconds of prayer or meditation in 3, 2, 1, begin. And stop. Another 30-second break. And we enter into our final minute where you get to choose to continue reading, continue listening, or continue reflection. over the course of 60 seconds. Really dial into this spirit of the topic of forgiveness in this final round. Begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 60 seconds of your own choice. And stop. Nice job. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Okay. We'll be now moving straight into the main workout. So as I mentioned before, you'll need a piece of paper, a blank one, and something to write with. And we'll be doing a Tabata. If you've taken this in the past, then you know what's to come. There'll be 8 segments with 20 seconds of writing, followed by 10 seconds of rest. And this time, unlike the other two, we're going to focus on the harder topic of our wounds. All the things that you may still be carrying as burdens that require some forgiveness for, some grace that you can offer yourself. These can be things from the past, perhaps with a relationship that you have in the past or the present, or maybe even you go larger to the community and the global level. This isn't going to be a competition of who has the most wounds and who needs the most forgiveness. This is going to be much more on the personal side. So I challenge you to dig deep into thinking about where these areas are that could use some healing and to write them down as you wish. Are there any questions about this? Awesome. You're all pros. So, Wounded Tabata, listing anything and everything that could use some healing and forgiveness in your life, in the lives of others, in your local community, or even the world. Here we go. Starting your first set in 3, 2, 1, begin. And stop. Nice job. That's your first set already down. 20 seconds goes by fast. Here comes your second set in 3, 2, 1, begin. And stop. Nice. Set 2 already complete. 1 minute down, 3 minutes to go. You can ignore my crying baby in the background. You're doing awesome. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. Again, nice job. Continue to go deeper into this practice about all the things that you still might be carrying on your heart. And begin. And stop. Nice job, everyone. You're halfway there. 4 more sets to go. Continue to look into those places that need healing in your life and begin. Stop. Doing a good job, everyone. 3 more sets left. 3, 2, 1, begin. Well done. Remember, no wound is too small to require healing. 3, 2, 1, 2 more sets. Go. Stop. All right, y'all. Final set remaining. Anything else that you can put out there on that paper? 3, 2, 1, begin. And stop. All right, pins down. Shake out the wrists. Congratulations, you finished this more challenging of the Tabata series that we have to offer. And I have some good news for you, everyone. You are done writing. That's right. We're no longer going to be writing anymore, but you're going to keep that list in front of you. Just like the first lesson, we're going to be using what we wrote as the main guide for our list. As always, feel free to add to that list if things come to it, or focus on things that are just on your paper. It's your choice. So the first activity of the day is the Ho'oponopono reflection. This is an ancient Hawaiian forgiveness traditional ritual, if you will, and we're going to use our list to practice the Ho'oponopono reflection. So you'll see here that it is a simple breathing prayer. So begin with your list and focus on one item. And then we're going to address your higher power, God, together, and whoever might be involved in this wound. And then, when you've selected the wound that needs healing and the parties involved with that wound, you'll take a slow breath in and you'll be thinking the words, I'm sorry. And then you'll breathe out as you think, please forgive me. And then you'll breathe in, thank you. And breathe out, I love you. And you'll do this breathing prayer 3 times for each item on your list. Now, the first thing that may jump out to you is noticing the direction of this. This is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, which I am taking responsibility for the wound. We can expand that to imagine if the person who wounded us would be saying that. Or reflecting on the fact that the I'm sorry doesn't justify what was done, but recognizes the pain that is still there and and saying, I'm sorry for that. Interpret it as you see fit. But again, it's breathe in, I'm sorry. Breathe out, please forgive me. Breathe in, thank you. Breathe out, I love you. We'll be doing this for a set amount of time. Are there any questions about this practice? Pretty clear? Great. I'll leave the instructions here as you go through it yourself. I'm going to set a timer for 7 minutes and we'll see how far we get through it. If you finish your list within the 7 minutes, go back to the beginning and start over, or add additional repetitions to the ones that still require a little bit more of that offering of healing and grace. Here we go. The Ho'oponopono reflection, beginning in 3, 2, 1, begin. Take your time with this event. There's no need to rush. You have plenty of time remaining. And continue to slowly breathe in and breathe out as you reflect on these wounds that need healing. You're more than halfway there. If you need to take a break before you re-engage, do so. Otherwise, continue to focus on this meditative practice. Last minute, everyone. And stop. We finished the first main activity and we're going to move into the next. At this point, you should be in a pretty concentrated state, so we'll move quickly into this next stage. This is going to require group participation, so when I say so, we're all going to unmute our mics, but I promise that we're all not going to read different things and jumble over each other. This is going to continue in this peaceful state of healing. So this is a interfaith prayer that was written. Oh, excuse me. Um, that was written uh, for the sake of accessibility. And so, in a circle, we are going to share what we wrote one at a time. I want to really emphasize the importance of sharing what you want to share, which means if you don't want to say what you wrote, you can say something that's general, such as if one of my wounds was something that a close friend to me said to me last week, rather than say the whole story, I would just say betrayal or something else that describes it, or friendship, or I would say that person's name if I wanted to. And if you don't want to say anything at all, you will simply say the word pass. So Whatever you choose to say, when it's your turn, you will say something, even if it's just pass, and the rest of us will respond, I acknowledge that you are hurt. And then we'll repeat, and the next person will go, and I'll facilitate by saying who's next, and the rest of us will respond, I acknowledge that you are hurt. And we'll go around the circle a few times. After we've done that, we will all read together the following text that you see below on this screen. Now, since this is virtual, stay muted until it is your turn to speak. So when I call on you, you'll unmute yourself. And then when your turn's over, you'll go ahead back to mute. But you'll still speak with the group all together. Questions about this activity before we begin? Does it seem clear, like we're all on the same page? Okay. So the order that we'll do is Carol, Lisa, Linda, Becky. Carol, Lisa, Linda, Becky. When it's your turn, you'll say what you want to say, and the rest of us will say, I acknowledge that you are hurt. And I'll keep my mic on just to keep us all in the same flow. All right. Carol, would you like to begin?
Sure. I'm forgiving, and this is a child, well, an adult child. If I'm not in the right way of doing it, just let me know.
What you've said is perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Forgiveness for us is understanding what we had and what the reason is that we need to forgive. Remember and reflect on what we want to correct. Show the kindness that should have been done or should have been done sooner. By each being mature, each have made mistakes, trying to solve and achieve what we hope we could have in the future.
That's beautiful. And everyone, keep your mics muted, but we'll all say together, I acknowledge that you are hurt. Thanks, Carol. You can mute yourself. And Lisa, you can now share. You can simply say a few words if you want, or share whatever you like to write, what you wrote.
Okay. My heart was wounded and saddened by words that had been said to me. And
perfect.
That's pretty much what I want to expand on.
Thank you very much. That's all you have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, of course. That's exactly how I designed this to be. Share what you want to share. So the rest of us, now let's all respond by saying, I acknowledge that you are hurt. Lisa, you can mute. Linda, you can join in. Linda, you're still muted. Oh. Okay, let's go to Becky, and then Linda, you can join us back in the order if we figure out the tech problem. Becky, will you like to share?
Yes.
Otherwise, you can say pass if you want.
No, we have an estranged relationship with our adopted son, and it's very hurtful and painful to think that, it ended in this way. But his problems are much, much bigger than we can help him. So it's better not to have contact with him, which is painful.
Altogether, I acknowledge that you are hurt. Thank you, Becky. Carol, it's your
Linda.
oh, Linda, yes, you're back in. Okay, good.
Yeah. It was a few years ago. Someone that I loved very much lied to me about something, a reason why this person wanted to borrow money. And it had a bad ending. And yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And altogether, we will respond. I acknowledge that you are hurt. We'll do another lap around. Carol, share whatever you'd like to share. There's no pressure. You can also say pass if there's nothing that you'd like to offer.
Okay. On this same forgiving, that as time passes, and this isn't written, it's just call it winging it. As time passes, things get harder, and forgiveness gets harder as we go on. And the feeling of wanting to be joined back in a loving way gets harder as we go. So even though the hurt is there, I want to have a new beginning with the life that was there before.
Thank you, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
And we respond, I acknowledge that you are hurt. Lisa.
There have been things that have been done to me and said to me that I hold resentment for, and I know that it's only hurting me by holding on to this resentment. And I'd like to let go of that resentment that I have towards these people that have hurt me.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And we respond, I acknowledge that you are hurt. Becky?
When I saw that forgiveness was the topic tonight, I found this quote that I had saved. When you forgive, the prisoner you set free is yourself, which is so very true. That is, it is so hard to forgive someone, and if you harbor it inside, it can eat you up. And there was a certain person who verbally just reamed me out in front of a group, never apologized, never thought she did anything wrong. And it really upset me. And I got to work on forgiveness. It's a commitment to forgive each day. You got to work on it. It's a commitment. It doesn't happen overnight. So I have to acknowledge that to myself.
Thank you,
I'm
Becky.
still working on it.
And we all respond, I acknowledge that you are hurt.
I acknowledge that you are hurt.
Linda?
I really haven't been able to think about, well, I guess I've been lucky that I haven't had any really bad hurt in my life. This was the worst, I think. But if I didn't forgive him, then, as Becky said, I'm the one that's going to suffer. And it's carrying around baggage that I don't need. And thank God, I mean, it hurt my heart, but nothing else. So it was rough because he was somebody I loved very much. So
Thank you, Linda. And the
yes.
whole group responds, I acknowledge that you are hurt. So we've now gone through this twice, and I think that this is a good point now to transition into the text that you see here. So take a second just to silently read through it once so that you're aware of what it says. And then we will say the words all together. I'll keep my mic unmuted. Everyone, you stay muted. That way we don't have the cacophony of sounds distracting us from this practice. And we will say this prayer meditation 3 times all together. So take a moment to read through it. Now, there's something special about these words, which is it's okay if we don't fully mean them. It's okay if we're not really just there yet. It's all right. In fact, I don't think that it would be honest for anyone to say these words in the in context of the pain that you may be carrying, and be able to say with 100% confidence that forever and ever, amen, there is always and forever gone, because only God can do that. And so we're going to say this as a way of practicing it, and see if we can build our confidence in these words as we say them together. And just like you might experience in church, we're going to do some good old congregational reading. So we'll read these by phrases. Here we go. I'll keep my mic unmuted. You all stay unmuted, but you're going to read along with me. Here we go. I acknowledge that I am hurt. I acknowledge that you are both a herder and a person in need. I ask my higher power to deal with you as is best for you. I will communicate to you the effect your treatment has had on me, if this will help. Now I forgive you with my lips. In my mind, I look you in the eyes and I say, I forgive you with my eyes. I look to my spirit to turn my words into feelings. I look into my heart and I forgive you with my heart. Now for the second round. I acknowledge that I am hurt. I acknowledge that you are both a herder and a person in need. I ask my higher power to deal with you as is best for you. I will communicate to you the effect your treatment has had on me, if this will help. Now I forgive you with my lips. In my mind, I look you in the eyes and I say, I forgive you with my eyes. I look to my spirit and turn my words to feelings. I look into my heart and I forgive you with my heart. And for the final time, I acknowledge that I am hurt. I acknowledge that you are both a herder and a person in need. I ask my higher power to deal with you as is best for you. I will communicate to you the effect your treatment has had on me, if this will help. Now I forgive you with my lips. In my mind, I look you in the eyes and I say, I forgive you with my eyes. I look to my spirit to turn my words into feelings. I look into my heart and I forgive you with my heart. Now I'll just give you a moment to sit with this before we move on. We've now reached the final movement of our group. For those who have taken this class in the past, you'll recognize this cooldown. It is your choice of intentional breathing. And I ask you this time, because we've been doing a lot of reflection and a lot of contemplation and prayer, that you do your best to not do any of those things. I want you to simply breathe. We finished the activity for the day. It's now over. No more work. Okay? Time to cool down. So we're going to breathe. The 1/3 breathing is simply breathing in, then out, out, out. For the box breath, you breathe in for 4 beats, hold for 4 beats, exhale for 4 beats, and hold for 4 beats. Here we go. Final cool down for just 2 minutes. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. And stop. All right, congratulations, everyone. We made it through. Before you go, I'd like to talk after I turn off the recording, but for the recording's sake, thanks for attending this lesson on forgiveness. I hope that you experienced some experience of feeling of healing and that you can continue this practice of healing on your own. Next week is lesson 4, the final of the 4-part series, and it's all about peace. So if you feel chill now, just get ready.